What's up, guys? Bang, bang, lunch money time. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us trying to get our lunch money right.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, now we both have the uniform on. Finally, we're back. We are back to the basics in black. Don't forget that lunch money is now sponsored by BlockFi. You can get a interest-bearing account, 8.6% APY in an interest-bearing account. Go get a BlockFi account, blockfi.com/pomp.
I was going to say, I have the uniform on, but I have kind of a finance bro twist to it. I got a vest on.
That's weird.
Fully vested.
BlockFi.com/pomp. Go get your account today. What's up?
Bitcoin broke through 18,000. Oh, I woke up to that noise.
It's a little bit below 18,000 at the moment, but that's okay. It'll come back. Don't worry. It's popping over and under, over and under, over and under.
Are you happy? Do you want to do your dance?
Nah. Ooh, yeah, we could get a little no problem.
All right.
And it's already at an all-time high based on market cap. It cracked $325 billion market cap, which makes it a all-time high there because of the new supply. What's next?
Oh, God. My internet's not working, guys. Robinhood seeks advisors for a potential IPO next year.
I just want to know, what's the price?
What do you mean?
Do they have any financials in the article? Robinhood raised an additional $460 million in the Series G, lifting its valuation to $11.7 billion back in September. Go ahead.
My lipstick is popping
Come on.
today.
This ain't a fashion show.
Wait, so what are we saying? What are we talking about? It has 13 million accounts on the platform. I think the IPO is going to be really big if Robinhood does go public.
I think it will be big for sure. It will be very interesting to see how well Robinhood continues to do over time. You know?
Okay, yeah. Softbank's Masayoshi Son. He's the chief
OG of OGs.
He said on Tuesday to DealBook at the conference that he is sitting on about $80 billion in cash for investment opportunities and share buybacks, and vowed to stick with his famously big bets on tech companies. He's continuing to deploy that capital.
No, he's sitting on
it. Deploy that. I know, but he will.
Maybe.
The move into cash by selling some SoftBank investments is in part due to concern over the continued spread of the COVID pandemic.
I love Masayoshi Son.
I love his PowerPoints. They are fire. If you've never seen a SoftBank PowerPoint, go look it up. What the hell is going on with this little thing?
Well, you got an alfalfa going on. The reason why Masayoshi Son is so interesting to me is he was the richest man in the world. Then he went broke. Then he came back and again is one of the richest men in the world. He just takes big swings. The guy ain't seen a risk he don't like. I love it. Everyone's going to die. Take risk. Who cares? Go ahead.
Remember Marissa Mayer, the CEO of Yahoo?
Yeah, I always liked her.
I liked her too. She, except for that one party, I don't know what that was about. She is back with the launch of Sunshine, a consumer app startup that is debuting with an address book app that relies on artificial intelligence.
Okay.
She's returning to the spotlight since stepping down from Yahoo CEO after the company's $4.48 billion sale to Verizon. So it's called Sunshine Contacts, not to be confused with Sunshine Sachs, the PR company, or Sunshine, what was that one called? Reese Witherspoon's company.
Basically, what it'll do is it'll take your address book and it will find and merge duplicate contacts. It will fill out incomplete information and continually keep that information up to date. And it will also integrate with the iOS Contacts app as well as Gmail, and will be free to all iOS users with an invitation.
This is cool, but do we need this?
Yeah, I'm about to go download it. This is awesome.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Huh.
Gotta keep your contacts popping.
Do you have?
No, I want all the up-to-date information. What's their email? What's their phone number? Where do they work? All that stuff.
So one of my former colleagues, Patty Sellers, gave us a great tip, which I didn't know existed. In your address book in your contacts, when you click on a contact, there's a notes section. So you can put in Anthony's birthday is so-and-so, and then another thing for every contact, so you always remember their birthdays.
Well, you can do birthdays, but the way that she uses it is she basically hey, last time I met this person is X time.
We
talked about this. They've got 3 kids. Their kids' name are X, Y, and Z. Like, it's a great way. And then if you're going to do a call or a meeting with them, you just look in the notes section real quick. So it's a very nice hack. That's why you watch Lunch Money. All we do is we bring you value. A little hack right there. Use the notes sections in the contact book in your phone. You can keep track of all the important details that are related to the people in your book. What's up?
All right.
No way. It ain't him.
Italy's Banksy, as he's so referred to. He's an artist.
No, this isn't Banksy, though.
I know. He's Italy's Banksy. His name is Gecko, a mysterious Italian street artist, often referred to as the country's Banksy, has been taken into custody after an 18-month search. He's in Rome, and he basically paints Rome's subway stations, bridges, buildings, and parks, infuriating the city's mayor. He is facing something ridiculous.
They confiscated hundreds of spray cans, thousands of stickers, ropes, fire extinguishers, cords, locks, 6 mobile phones, computers, brushes, rollers, and buckets of paint.
Like it's like contraband.
My man was out there. He was just spreading some joy.
And he could face some ridiculous, he's thought to be in his late 20s, originally from Rome.
And the Environmental Police Task Force came after him. Yo, y'all sent the Environment Police after him?
He's now facing up to 2 years in prison and fines. And the residents are kind of like, okay, maybe you should fix and address the potholes, the infrequent garbage collection, and the economic toll of the coronavirus pandemic rather than hunting down a street artist.
Let my man spread joy. Let him spread joy. Why are you guys trying to be assholes?
I know. Tell that to the mayor.
That's all right.
All right, it's Ask Lunch Money time. All right, we're gonna have to fly through these. There were some really good ones. So.
All right, let's go. We're in a rush if you can't tell. So we're talking fast as if we're on like 2.5 speed.
All right, this one's good. Will Robbins.
What's up, Will?
Hey guys, love the show. Question for Pomp. Sorry, Paulina. No worries, Will. How has your experience in the military served you in life and business? No worries if you prefer not to answer.
Are you just gonna make me answer?
Oh, well, do you prefer?
It was the best. It was the best experience I had because it did 3 things. I went when I was 20 years old, deployed to Iraq, and it forced me to grow up really, really fast. In terms of, I was just immediately immersed into an environment with a bunch of guys who were much older than me. They had wives, kids, mortgages, etc. So it was a great maturity thing. 2 was it taught me the number 1 lesson I've ever learned in my life, which is you're gonna die. So go out and live life, enjoy it, have fun, and just generally be happy. So it was worth it for that. And then the third thing is I had the pleasure of going to a bunch of leadership schools in the Army. I graduated number 1, obviously, in the class, fact. But that was a really good experience because it essentially just taught me everything from the leadership skills needed in a physical environment like the military where everything's very authoritative leadership. So I outrank you. Look, I'm a sergeant, you're not. You do what I say type situation, all the way to situations where there's more influential leadership. So you and I are peers. How do I actually help to lead you and our colleagues to get things done? So those were all great experiences.
Jared Salad Bar asks,
what up, Jared Salad Bar?
I have a decent amount of my savings in Bitcoin, but I'm still in debt. If I were to pull out half of my Bitcoin holdings, I could pay off roughly 3/4 of my debt. Considering how high Bitcoin is at the moment, would it be smarter to just keep holding or sell half to pay off the majority of my debt?
This is really hard to answer because there's so many clarifying questions and information that are needed. The biggest question I would have is the interest rate on the debt. So if the interest rate is like 2 or 3%, then I wouldn't worry about it as much because that's a pretty low interest rate. And what you're going to end up seeing is that the potential appreciation of Bitcoin will outpace it. And therefore, if you wait 6 months, 12 months, you'll be able to kind of pay it all off plus have some money left over. But if we're talking about like credit card debt that is 25-30%, then you absolutely should go pay it off immediately. And so I think that you gotta. It's hard for me to give an exact answer, but a big piece of the debt is just what is the interest rate on the debt. And so the higher the interest rate, the more important it is that you pay it off immediately.
Jonathan Nading. Paulina, how are news journalists in today's society different from social media presences that use their platforms as a way to influence the conversation? Should journalists have greater accountability to us than these other influencers? And if so, how should that be upheld? Much love, you two. Keep hustling. Yes. So I come from a very purist perspective when it comes to journalism. So I actually don't think that journalists should be spreading their political beliefs on social media if they want to be truly objective and have their work taken seriously. And some of them do have, I believe, a higher, should be held accountable for the things they say. But here's my theory. Over the last 10 years, a lot of media organizations have hired much younger journalists who were not necessarily taught by purists. They came from sites like BuzzFeed or the Huffington Post or blogs or whatever. If you read, there's a really good profile feature right now on the New York Times, in New York Magazine, I think. Read that and it'll explain kind of the great generational divide within the New York Times between the purists and the much younger journalists who want more activism in the newsroom. Whereas I think that what you're getting at is like they should be accountable for the things they say if they're going to be truly journalists.
Facts.
Only one Swami. Why hasn't Starbucks sponsored Paulina yet? I know. Paulina, what does your writing routine look like for the profile? Any tips on getting better at writing besides write or ship more? Yes, you can be a better writer just by finding nuance and inserting nuance in your work. So instead of looking at the world as black and white and using words that are absolutes like everyone, no one, always, never, put nuance in the work and use language that's precise and gives a lot of detail. Sorry, I just picked ones that were for me. Okay. Casey asked, if you have $100,000 to invest, do you recommend investing it all at once or do dollar cost averaging throughout the year?
For the most part, regardless of what the asset is, you want a dollar cost average. I don't know about dollar cost averaging over an entire year. You got to look at the asset, what you think kind of the investment thesis is for the asset, but dollar cost averaging almost always is better than kind of just a one-shot deal. But with that said, I would do it on a more compressed timeline than over a year.
All right, and final question from Eric Cassidy. Pomp, you've mentioned certain investments in private companies you've made, such as Airbnb. How does one go about gaining access to these types of investments?
So most of like the very large companies, SpaceX, Airbnbs, those were done through SPVs. So basically I knew investors that were making an investment and they were looking for more capital. And so I was able to give it to a friend and then they put the money in. But the earlier stage companies, so companies like BlockFi, Figure, things like that I've invested in, those are where we went out and raised money. And then we basically went to the founders and said, hey, I'd like to invest in your business. And we gave them the money directly. In both of those scenarios, you've got to be an accredited investor, which is bullshit, but that is the rule. And so what ends up happening is it really is kind of this like super disjointed, inefficient market in the private markets. And it really comes down to kind of knowing the right people or meeting the founders when they're fundraising or before they fundraise so that you can get access to those opportunities.
Cool. Thank you guys for the great questions. I love
black
this.
on black on black on black. Back to the basics. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account. Or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video. Annoy Polina in the comments. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.